Yo, welcome back to the Nation of Conversation. I'm your boy Champ. Got my dog Grind Time in the building. What's happening?
What's happening with it?
Oh man, that divisional round got that locked in. Some people call that the best weekend of football. Uh, it was some great games. It was 3 out of 4 was good games. Then we had one track meet. But let's start off with the first one here with Buffalo and Denver. That was overtime win. Um, I had Denver winning, but I thought Denver would win by more than that. I didn't think they needed to go to overtime. Josh Allen he had 4 turnovers himself. They almost was able to still overcome that. But what you think? What you think about the game? Do you think that the Bills they probably missed that window to win the Super Bowl only because Pat Mahomes, Lamar, or Joe Burrow didn't even make it to the playoff this year, and they still came up short? I mean, what are they supposed? What do they do next?
Well, they're definitely going to have a different coach.
Well,
McDermott
yeah,
got fired, so obviously the franchise feel like they need to go in a different direction, which I kind of agree with that. Um, but Josh Allen, I don't think his window is closed for a Super Bowl, but it's definitely getting slim. I'm curious to find out who's going to be the next coach for the Buffalo Bills. But I had Buffalo winning that game, to be honest. It just Denver wanted it more. And that throw, that was a catch. That was a catch. I don't care what you say, that was a catch. But I guess Denver got the home cooking, and they got the rule favored in their way.
yeah,
But that was a catch. I don't care what nobody say. I mean, he hit the ground, the ball was dead, and he just took it out his arms when he was on the ground. But
yeah,
home cooking gave them the call. So, but as
yeah. I
far
never.
as the Buffalo Bills, which is go ahead.
No, I was gonna say no. I never seen no shit like that before. He was
Yeah.
down with the ball, then rolled over, take it out, interception. I thought if he's down,
Mhm.
he's down by contact right there. I do disagree with that call. That was crazy. Even the
Yeah.
announcers, they was like, what? Okay, all right, we'll have to roll with it. But yeah,
But the
that
crazy thing about it, they didn't even review it. That's the
no,
crazy thing. At least
yeah,
review the call. That
no review.
statue of the game and that magnitude of the game was going on. You got to review that call. I was
Yeah,
like, oh man, come on, man. This home cooking shit, or it might be rigged.
yeah. It
I was like,
man, it's hard to
man,
beat.
like,
It's hard to beat allegations when you're doing shit like that. Like I said, the guy
right,
I never seen that before. A guy catches the ball, they both tangle it up, roll over in this interception. They usually give that to the receiver. If it's a tie possession, they usually give that to the receiver, the offense.
right. Then they didn't even review the play. That's the crazy thing. I'm like, you got to at least review the play. This magnitude of the game and what's in stake, you got to review the call, but play
Yeah,
on. Like that's BS. So,
yeah,
but shout out to the different Broncos. They won the game, but they also finna be in some shit too. Bo Nix,
yeah.
he
That's what I was gonna say next.
there's an Andrew ankle, so that's gonna suck for them because
A
the
broken
Patriots that's
bone.
not gonna be a pushover. So
Yeah, I think
yeah,
I do think just by that alone, I do think the Patriots gonna come in there. They should get it done. I mean, they got Jared Stidham. I call him Jared Shittum because he's trash to me. You know what I'm saying? Then he coming in. This only gonna be his 4th career start, and the last 4, or every time he come in to relieve, it's not been good. Like I said, people like he's been around the league. He's bounced around for a reason. He used to play on the Patriots. You know what I'm saying? Used to be on the Raiders. Yeah, he's just not a good quarterback. I don't know what they do.
well, at least he's gonna have a week to prepare, and they put up a game plan for him. And I don't think Denver is probably going to throw the ball that much. They're going to rely on the run game,
Yeah,
but
which
it
they
depends
should.
on what type of game plan they come out with because the New England Patriots, they're going to run and pass the ball, so they got to be careful because even though they're in Denver, but the Patriots get up early, that game could be over real early. So But the only thing I like in favor in Denver is they're at home cooking. So, but I don't expect Denver to win that game. I think the New England Patriots are going to advance to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. And then got after that. Then, like I said, we got the track meet, Seattle. They came in there and blew the doors right off the 49ers. 49ers they got whipped on all three levels of the game, just like the first one. Like I said, the first game, that's how the score should have been. They just weren't. They was moving the ball all over the field, but they just weren't scoring touchdowns. They were just dominating possession of the game.
Yeah.
Uh, but I do give 49ers credit for, getting back there, another deep playoff run with a bunch of injuries. You know what I mean? So I know people say what they want about, Kyle Shanahan. They think, he just can't win in the big game or whatever. But on the other hand, he's getting you to the big game. So
Yeah, but he's not getting over the hump. That's the
not getting over
key.
the hump. Not getting
He's
over the hump.
getting there,
And
but
and
he's
and
not winning
then
the big ones when it counts.
yeah, and then also, uh, you know, what about okay? Do you still keep rolling with Kyle Shanahan? Since, to your point, if he can't get over the hump, has it been enough years that they've given them plenty of opportunities to make it over the hump? You see other coaches like Harbaugh, he's getting to the playoffs every year. They're just not getting over the hump. He was let go. Sean McDermott, he was let go. They're making it to the playoffs, but you're not getting over the hump. Do he fall in that category, or do you keep rocking with him if you're the 49ers?
I don't know. The 49ers, it's a little different. I mean, I say give him another year to see what he could do. Uh, let him get him, let the team come back healthy because in
Mm-hmm.
49ers do have a lot of key injuries and they have a lot of questions of players that don't want to be there and play.
Players that don't want
Uh,
to be there after they getting signed
right,
mega contracts didn't play
right,
another
right.
down. Like, that's crazy. Brandon Ayuk, I don't know. If you still want to play
So
in the NFL, you made your stock. I know teams, they probably don't want to touch that. You know what I'm saying? So they might be stuck with him. Uh, you have to pay out all that guaranteed money. So yeah, that's another crazy situation.
yeah, then George Kittle he got hurt, so that factor in, you know,
No Fred
the
Warner.
Warner, yeah, I forgot about him too. So
Yeah.
I say let everybody come back healthy and see what can happen. Of course, it started with Mac Jones at the quarterback in the beginning of the year, but he did an excellent job.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
He
so
probably earned himself a starting job somewhere at one of these struggling teams. They could use
oh
a
yeah,
stable
right.
quarterback right now.
He definitely passed their audition for a team that's going to need a quarterback coming up. He kind of reminds me of the Sam Darnold situation. You know how
Yeah,
Sam Darnold did so good in Minnesota that year. Now he moved on to Seattle, and you look in the position where he's at and where he came from
yeah,
being drafted by the Jets. But 49ers, yeah, you go in with Purdy. He's going to be your starting quarterback next year. Hopefully, Kittle could be back. The first couple weeks of football, and I say roll with him. He's not a bad coach, but he just can't get over the hump. He can't win the big ones. But in today's NFL, if you can't win these games, you're getting canned. Obviously, we can see that no matter how long
yeah.
you've been with the franchise, how long what you've done, they don't care nowadays. There's no loyalty with these coaches. If you ain't winning, your ass is canned. But
And
Shanahan,
I get
I
it.
say give him
I
another
totally get
year.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I say give him another year.
Okay. All right. Then Houston and
Oh, Houston.
man,
I can't even be mad at Houston, man, because Houston started off the year so stinky and to make it to this point, you know, D'Amico Ryans, he basically saved his job with that run he had. I can't even be
yeah,
mad at Houston.
yeah, he did. And how could CJ Stroud regress so much from his rookie year? Like, usually you have the sophomore slump. Okay, I get that. But then you come out your third, you're even worse than it's like you're steadily going backwards. You're supposed to be going forward. I don't understand that. And then, like, early in the game, they hit him a couple times. He was thrown off his rocker. Like, he was punch drunk. He was scared. He was just throwing the ball up, especially that pick six. he was just like, just get me out of here, throw the ball up. You know what I mean? I don't like when your quarterback is doing stuff like that in a playoff game. You just can't throw it up for grabs. You got to at least, or you either throw it away or take the sack. You don't just throw it up in the middle like that. You know, it got pick six. And, you know, basically it was downhill from there. Even though the defense, they were still keeping him in the game with all those damn turnovers. That's another thing. Like the game before, he didn't play particularly well. Had turnovers, fumbling the ball, and they still was able to eke it out. You know, with Pittsburgh. But yeah, you can't. They got to tighten that. They got to tighten that up.
Well, they went in New England. That was a tough environment to play in, especially with that weather. So, Houston, they play in a dome stadium, so that played a factor. But still, though, you're a pro. Four interceptions and that
Yeah,
magnitude of the game, CJ,
fumble,
you got to do a little better
four
than that.
four first half pickoffs and a fumble. Like they were just
Yeah.
giving the ball away to the Patriots, man. That was crazy. And like I said, the defense, like they was on Drake May's ass too. They had him made him fumble a couple of times. I know he's still having probably nightmares of Will Anderson getting after his ass, but it was just New England was able to they was able to capitalize on some of the Houston mistakes, and Houston wasn't able to capitalize on any of the Patriots mistakes. So
No, they wasn't.
that was the really key factor. They didn't get any points off the turnovers.
Yeah.
But I do agree
Mm.
with you. I do think D'Amico Ryan saved his job because if it would have been another bad exit, they definitely don't give us no time. So just like Raheem Morris, Falcons got him right out of there. I knew they weren't gonna give him time to turn that team around. I knew it.
Yeah.
Like I said,
He's up out of
you
there
had all
too.
the talent on offense, but your quarterback play was not good. Michael Penix was out. He's getting hurt again. But he does have injury history coming all the way from college. So, I don't see why they took him so high in the draft. I understand that you liked him, but with a QB got injury history like that, you got to take a waiver on that. You can't put too much into him like that.
Yeah.
That's a high risk, low reward, type of situation.
Hmm.
And are they going to get rid of Kirk Cousins? Are they going to try to trade him? Because he still got guaranteed money over there. Or what are they going
No,
to do?
from what I'm hearing, it looked like he's gonna be the starter next year.
Mm, mm. Well,
I heard something like, they're gonna redo his contract and he might be the starter next year. I don't think they're gonna go with Penix as the starter going in next year.
they
But
say he needed to take some time off to learn, huh? They put him in too early.
yeah, yeah, that's what I was reading about. But it depends on who the coach is and what type of direction they were going in. Or didn't they
Yeah.
find a coach? Who they hired? They just hired somebody, didn't they?
Uh, Stefanski.
Right, right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Matt. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that hire.
I don't know. I
That's
think he
that's
needed a year off, especially after you handled that
yeah,
situation like you did. You weren't professional at all. People say what they want. He did not handle that situation good. You could have came
yeah, I
out
don't
in
like
the
that hire
media
by Atlanta.
and said, "Yeah, I just don't like." Even if you felt if you felt like Shador wasn't your starter, you could have said that, and people would have respected that. But you're playing. Oh, I don't know. This week, this shit every week. It's like a game. Then like I said with that wristband thing, that really sealed it right there. It was over for that. I'm like, you gave him the wrong wristband. Like, come on, man. I ain't even never heard of that shit happening before, bro. Like, and I get it. Shador, he need to get in the lab. He needs to play better. Absolutely, absolutely. So I'm not a Shador stand saying everything he do is golden. No, he had some play that he needs to get better. He needs to improve, especially if they're going to come in and try to compete for the start. Said they're going to be able to compete for the start job, but I was hearing they were thinking about bringing Zach Wilson over there. And if you can't beat out Zach Wilson, you don't need to be starting in the NFL. You don't. I'm just going to be honest. If he
Hmm.
can't go in there, if he can't beat out Zach Wilson, then you need to be a backup for right now.
Yeah, Yeah, I'm tripping off this hire
But yeah,
by Atlanta. I'm sitting here reading about they gave him one interview and they liked him so much they offered him a job
yeah, you're
like
right.
soon
Matt
after the
Ryan, Matt,
interview. Like they
yeah,
didn't
Matt
even
Ryan got it.
yeah, I'm sitting here reading this like this is crazy. Like I don't know what Atlanta's trying to do over there, but I wouldn't have hired that guy. Maybe as a coordinator or something, but as far as head coach, yeah, he'd need to take a year off or something. I mean,
Yeah,
he came from a lot of bullshit with the Cleveland Browns and jumping into more bullshit over there.
yeah.
And you got the quarterback controversy going on. So yeah, I don't like this hire at all by Atlanta
I
Falcons.
think I don't know if Mike Tomlin's going to take the next year off, but they needed to hire somebody like that. Like when you're a franchise that's like shaky, you need a strong will coach to come in there and try to turn shit around. Like that. Like if they would have maybe hired Tomlin or Harbaugh before he got uh put up there in New York. But yeah, man, they got some things to do. It's still another uphill climb for them. But the last division, what about the the Rams and the Bears, man? I think that was the best game. That was crazy. It shouldn't have went to overtime. Hail Mary. But like I said, the damn Bears, man, they don't quit. They play the whole clock. Like I said, a lot of teams they let up. They never do. That's why they're always able to fight back in the games. But what did you think about Chicago's run this year?
If I'm the Chicago Bears, you have nothing to complain about because for one, it wasn't expected to do this good, and two, um, it was a magical season for them. They had a lot of games where it came down to the wire, like under 2 minutes, and they came back and won every one. Unfortunately, it didn't go this way against the Rams in the playoff,
Yeah.
but Caleb Williams, he had an excellent, year. Chicago Bears you can't be mad at them this year. I didn't expect them to go this far, but
Yeah, he
shout outs to the Bears. It was a good year by them. They just lost to the Rams, a team that wanted them more, that was hungry, and a team that's better than them. But Chicago Bears, you can't hold your head down. They had a good year.
yeah. Like I said, he nearly cracked the 4,000 passing mark. I think he missed it by like 50 some yards. Um, but yeah. But to me, if he gets like say they win the Super Bowl, I think I probably put him up there in top QB in Bears history already, even though he's only played a couple years, just for the simple fact that guys weren't able to get stuff done in the playoffs. Like you said, so regular season is different. You going in there, you got to win.
Top 10,
Uh,
top Bear quarterback of all time. Well, the Bears don't have any top quarterbacks of all time,
that's why.
really.
That's why I'm saying already. Like
Ain't
I
too
don't know
many of
who.
them cats floating around that played for that franchise. I
Right,
mean, what you
right.
got? Mahan, he won the Super Bowl. That's about it. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's
all
what
the
I'm
other
saying.
quarterbacks been pretty shitty.
You probably put McMahon up there at one right now because he got the bowl, and then maybe Jay Cutler just because he was there for a while. They went to the Super Bowl even though he didn't play in it. They had Rex Grossman in there, but I think you know what? What about that? You think if the Bears, if Jay Cutler would have played in that Super Bowl against the Colts, they would have won?
No.
No.
No. Peyton Manning and Marvin Harrison, that team, they
Yeah,
were on a mission. Yeah, they wouldn't beat that team. Too much offense.
too much offense,
Even
and they had
though
a good
even though
they
the,
had
the
a
Bears
good
had
defense
a
too.
solid D, Bears had solid D that year, but
Hmm.
they weren't gonna beat the coach that year.
Yeah. But yeah, what do you think about the natty last night, Miami, Indiana? You had Indiana coming in there and doing a steamroll, and to me, it looked like Miami could have won that game if it wasn't for that block punt for the touchdown late. Like I said, like they had the opportunity to win, and then unfortunately Carson Beck on the final drive threw that terrible interception. He didn't put enough air under the ball. The receiver he did beat the double coverage, but he didn't put the ball out ahead of the receiver, and then that's a wrap.
Yeah, shout out to Miami. They played a lot better than I expected them to do. I thought Indiana was gonna come in and at least beat them by 2 touchdowns or more, but that wasn't the case. It was a good defensive battle first half, especially first half. They both both teams was relying on the run game heavy.
Yeah,
Um, but Miami, they had a great year. Just didn't get the job done. Shout out to Indiana, 16-0. You never think a school called Indiana Hoosiers will win a national championship in football. That sounds like basketball, but
right,
hey, it's been
right,
done
right.
though. It's been done.
Yeah. Now it's been done. Yeah. So they
Yeah.
got that. No respect to them. Yeah. Like I said, they fought it out and got to win. You know what I mean? But yeah, I just that was just bad. Y'all was driving, could have won the game, but it was just that bad throw. That bad throw. It seems like the losses that they did have, it came down to the final second interceptions thrown by Carson Beck, just like with the SMU game earlier in the season. When they went to overtime with them, threw a pick in overtime, and it was over. But you think they're gonna be back next year? Miami, they're gonna retool. I think they're gonna get their recruits back now because they seeing like, okay, Miami, we not just out here getting torched every week, missing the playoffs. We got a
Well,
shot to contend.
they, they definitely got to retool on the front line of the defense because the two top edge rushers, those are two
Yeah,
possibly
they coming
two
right
top
up.
10 picks. So
Yeah,
they definitely got to replace those two cats.
yeah, we
But
better get one of them.
they should be in good hands, for the future Miami program. Like they say, they're back, so we'll see.
Yeah, yeah, that's yeah, I actually like this whole college football playoff this year. I liked it. I think they almost got every team in right. uh, but then so they're gonna fix it up next year to get even more teams. So I shouldn't hear any excuses going forward after the next year. So especially with the college playoff, you're not gonna put in, like I said, if you keep adding too many, it's just gonna be horrible games that we didn't need. You know what I mean? Just extra games that we didn't need. But
I mean, if they're gonna add more teams, they need to speed up the process. It just, waiting a month to play in 3 weeks, that's just too long. So they need to
yeah,
speed it up a little bit more.
yeah, but they definitely need to, yeah, they definitely need to speed up their college playoff schedule. But all right, final predictions for, okay, you got the AFC. Who you got in the AFC Championship winning that? Who you got representing? I got the
Pick,
Rams. I got the Rams in the Patriots in the Super Bowl. That rematch from long ago.
I'm going Seahawks, Patriots.
Mm.
Just tough to play in Seattle, man. And the
Yeah,
way
yeah,
Seattle looks, they're a complete team right now. I mean, they whipped the shit out of the 49ers. I'm not taking that, win going into playing the Rams, but I'm just saying Seattle is on a steamroll right now.
yeah. Look, they do look like a juggernaut. Yeah, you're right about that. But we're gonna
And
see.
I'm
Like I
taking the
said,
Patriots because there's no Bo Nix. I mean, you got to go with the
right.
Patriots. I mean, Broncos lost his starting quarterback. I mean, unless this guy comes out with a super perfect game and the Broncos come with a solid game plan, that's the only way they can win this game. But
Yeah.
right now, Patriots, Seahawks for me.
Okay. All right. All right. All right. Well, that's a little quick here for y'all this morning. We're gonna holler back at y'all later on this evening. But make sure you hit that like, share, subscribe, go live with you guys next time. You feel me? This is your boy Champ. Grind time. We are the nation in conversation. And remember when you see that B, you know it's we. And we out.